William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I welcome you to another Two Hats special of community events. Let's look in and see what's really happening.
Okay, well, welcome everybody to the Alliance Homeless Forum. My name is Ricky Red. I'm on the, I do volunteer work with NVHA, and I'm on the board of directors. We have this meeting once a month. Here at the library, or at our calling, we haven't decided exactly how we're going to divide that yet. So the purpose of this meeting is to try to help people find solutions to the problem of homelessness, get you connected with certain agencies. So maybe we can go around the room and everybody introduce themselves. I see we've got a few people here. Would you go start? Just tell you who us are, who you're with, or
My name is John Lacy. Can you hear me?
yeah.
I stay at the bridge.
Okay, at the bridge.
My friend told me about this program.
Okay, good to have you.
I'm everybody Robertson.
Okay.
Good morning, my name is Constance Woods. I'm with A Service for Dallas. I am representing 28
Okay.
I'm Charles Gallo, I'm with the Homeless Arts Program, Tupac.
Okay, next. Okay. Okay, next.
Erin Moore with Commissioner Teresa Daniels' office.
Okay, take bridge, okay.
My name is Christopher Brown. I'm currently in office. I'm also consultant, social entrepreneur, looking into
Yeah, I remember in our calling, he had some really good ideas about housing and some things, so maybe later on in the meeting, we could get an update on how you're doing on that. So, was there a spotlight agency? Me, okay, so you're going to wait for my question. Okay. I want somebody here to tell me what it is I'm talking about. Mimics marijuana, often included, induced more quickly, more intense than real marijuana. Hallucinations, seizures and tremors, coma, unconsciousness, vomiting, numbness and tingling, increased respiration rate, elevated blood pressure reported up to 200 over 100, medically dangerous. Elevated heart rate reported up to 150, medically dangerous. Increased level of anxiety, agitation leading to panic attacks, possible suicide attempts. Who can tell me what it is I'm talking about?
I smoked K2 one time and one time only. And it had me so paranoid out of my mind, I had to go lay down in my bed and kind of just sleep off the paranoia.
K2 is, you're correct, it's exactly what it is, it's K2. K2 is extremely dangerous. And so, I would advise everybody to understand that it is dangerous and not to do it. One of the things about K2 is that if you go out on the street and you say, hey, Joe, where can I get a joint? Hey, can how I know so-and-so, and he'll send you a joint for $1 or $2. And so, but if you buy that joint, how do you know what's in there? And at our calling, I use the old saying, never buy a pig in a poke. You don't know what you're getting. You don't know if it's K2 or marijuana or arsenic or rat poison. You have no idea what's in there.
I can smell it.
And so, stay away from that stuff. And so I want to have a brief demonstration about crack cocaine. This is some of you, I'm going to go over here to the board and try to show you something that I learned a while back about crack cocaine. This line represents how you feel. You don't feel good. You don't feel bad. You're just okay. Kind of the way I feel right now, a little nervous because I'm speaking in front of everybody, but I'm okay. I don't feel good. I don't feel bad. I'm just okay. Now, here's what happens when you start drinking. You drink, you have a whole bunch of drinks, and you get to this point right here. Now you're feeling good. Now you're feeling good. Okay, but afterwards, you sleep it off. Now you're not feeling so good now. The hangover, the old saying, you gotta have a hair of the dog that bit you. Okay, so you start drinking again, and you go back up to here. Now you're feeling good again. Okay, but then come back down. Now you're not feeling so good again. So you gotta drink some more. Okay, so you go back up, you drink some more, and then you come back down. Now this, for some people, this can be a few days. Some people it might be weeks or months, but eventually you go further down and further down and further down until you get to a point over a period of time where you get to here where now you're feeling really, really bad, and you start drinking just to get back to normal. Okay? At that point, you have to quit. You have no choice. But this is alcohol. Now I'm going to show you what happens with crack cocaine. You smoke crack cocaine, you go straight up to here. Straight up. And then you come straight down in a very short period of time. Now you're way up here. Now look at here what alcohol, you're feeling good. You're really feeling good. And then you're really feeling bad. So what do? You smoke some more crack. And you go straight up again. Uh-oh, but wait a minute. You didn't get to that point, did you? Now you're feeling good, but you're not up here no more. No, that's gone. You're not going to get up there no more. But you're still addicted, so you got to keep smoking. You come straight down again. Now you're feeling really bad, and here we go again. See, and it works this way, and you get the same thing that happens here, but on a much greater level, to where you finally end up here, where you can't get high no more, and the result is you feel really, really bad. Usually broke, and as they say on the street term, hold out. And so that's what happens to you when you smoke crack. Oh yeah, it's good stuff there on that first hit, but you never get that again. That's why I hear people say, when sometimes about crack, they say, well, the first dime I bought was good, and then after that they put something with something else. They switched it to something else. No, they didn't switch it. It's just you can't get back to that point no more. And that's why it's so addictive. You only have to do one hit of crack to be addicted. And so I wanted to point this out to people to help educate people about the dangers of drugs and alcohol, and especially K2 and crack cocaine and those kind of things. Any questions? I'm through with my presentation. All right.
I was just going to mention, this was on the news a few years ago, when the authorities raided the drug lab in another state, I think it was Tennessee or Kentucky, whatever it was, and they thought, when they took some of the drugs that had already been made up in the drug lab and took it to be analyzed, they found that there was rat poison in it. That's like they don't care, because they're always going to get new customers, they don't care somebody dies.
Yeah,
There's rat poison, I'm not going to, there's one that's already made up.
yeah, it's been mentioned to me by a couple of people that it'd be better off going out to people that manufacture the stuff. And my response to that is that if you do find the people that manufacture it, they'll just come up with something else. Where what's happening right now in the drug culture is chemists are finding mimic drugs.
Yeah.
That's not the real thing. It's, heroin, I don't know what they have, ice or something, or the different. So they come up with something that's a whole lot cheaper that mimics the real thing. And so that's what K2 is. K2 is a mimic drug. And I've heard it's it's cheap. I don't know how much it is, but I've heard it's cheap. And the thing about K2 is, it never was intended to be, it was supposed to be some kind of incense or something to start with. So it was never intended to be smoked, whereas marijuana, on the other hand, they actually use marijuana as medicine these days for certain illnesses. Anybody else with any questions?
Some people use it to get over for comfort.
Anxiety too.
I'm gonna turn the meeting over to Siobhan.
There are other ways to do that.
Good morning.
Oh.
How are you? My name is Siobhan. I'm with Metro Dallas Homeless Alliance, and today I wanted us to take a few minutes before we do the no part session to do what's called a needs assessment. And that's just so that we can kind of get an idea of what you guys are needing as our current homeless population. To just to see, so we'll take maybe 20 to 25, maybe not that long, just maybe 15 to 20 minutes to complete this survey. And when you're finished, I have something for you at the end. And I'll go over them with you. Oh, sorry, there you go. Just in case there are any questions. We encourage people to come to the meeting, not to
Every citizen,
take advantage of our facilities. Everyone get one of the pen?
You know, I got a comment. I'm sorry, what's his name?
Ricky?
Ricky. So, when I was younger, I did drugs, I did a lot of drugs. I did it and I got it out of my system when I turned 20. When I was on drugs, back in the early 80s, living back home, crack had just came out a couple years after I had, I guess, after I was introduced to drugs. And toward the end, I got off drugs because I almost, I guess, OD all the time. I was 20. But what I experienced then toward the end of my lifetime of drugs, as I was trying to wean myself off, I found, that's when I realized that I was actually hooked, that I was actually addicted to drugs. So with that being said, I remember clearly how difficult it was getting off drugs. And if it wasn't for, in my case, if it wasn't for a divine intervention, I never would have got one. I wouldn't be here today. I was about $350 worth of coke every night. And I wasn't doing crack. I was smoking crack, coke was out. Long story short, I can remember a couple of times when I tried on my own to get off drugs, and it just didn't work. The addiction was so heavy to my body just started cramping up. It was like a Hollywood scene, sweating, shaking, the whole 9 yards. It was just after like several hours of staying off drugs. With that being said, since I've been out here, every place I go, and not taking anything away from what you say or what you guys are doing, it's great what you're doing. But the people that minister, so to speak, to these guys that are dealing with K2, that are dealing with crack, that are dealing with drinking, etc. In and of themselves, they can't do it. I can take this down. I know this firsthand. So I did a lot of research and I guess study on what's going on now with the opioids. And the government, has allocated, Trump has allocated so much money to so many different states, institutions, parties, whatever. These people are getting fucking run to one. So they can go into these places, they can go into these detox places, so to speak. They can receive up as long as they stay there, they're going there on their own will. are there resources out there for these guys? Can the same guys that are out there now, the same guys who are at our colony, at Office Street, etc., if they were to voluntarily go to these places, can they go? Can they receive that help without, worrying about, where am I going to get the money? Where am I going to stay? Where they taking me in?
Well, I know of one in particular, Neil Phillips, who's with Parkland Home, Parkland. He comes to Austin Street Shelter and the Salvation Army. He has a program, relapse prevention. I went through it twice. By the way, I got a problem with myself. I'm not trying to be self-righteous. I went through the program twice, and I've been in rehab too. So, and he gives a program there, and it's free. And he used to come to, he used to do it at where was he? The Bridge. The Bridge decided that they would do it, they had some other kind of program. And so, but one of the things I commented about his program was that it was, if somebody was paying for it, it would be a lot of money, $1,000 or more for the program that he gives. Now, there are programs out there, unfortunately, they do cost money, the rehab programs, and I think it's a good thing to go into a program. If you have no insurance or anything like that, though, it does become more difficult. And now that we've switched over from North Star Insurance to the NITBA, the North Texas Behavioral Health Authority, the resources are less than what there was. I can't give you specific information because it's kind of complicated, all the different resources that are out there. But if you can get with MetroCare, they might connect you. You can get with a case manager at the Bridge. Let me just make a comment about drug addiction and drug abuse, and something you may not know. You ever heard the term comfort food? You ever heard that? Why do you think they call it that? You get you a big hamburger, it's a hard day at work, and you're tired and you're hungry, so you go to Whataburger and you get you a big double meat with cheese and a large order of fries and a large Coke, and you eat it, and then you go, oh man, it feels good. It makes you feel good. Why? What happened? Well, what happened was your stomach got full and it sent a signal to your brain to release a chemical in your brain called dopamine. Okay, and so that dopamine in your brain, and so you feel good. That's a natural high. Naturally, occurs naturally. Here's what happens when you start doing things like crack cocaine. It sends a signal to your brain to release that dopamine that makes you feel good. The only thing about it is there's only a certain amount in there. Once you do it over and over and over again, you use up all the dopamine in your brain. Now you can't eat a big meal or do the things that you normally do that makes you feel good because there's nothing up there to help you feel good. It takes a while to be clean to get back to normal. And so you get to a point where you don't feel good about anything anymore. And so a rehab program is a really good thing if you can find a good one. Neil Phillips is really good if you can find him. And then try to get advice either from MetroCare or from a case manager at the Bridge.
So what we'll do, if anybody needs it today though, we can get you a referral to South Harbor, which is the place that you can go and stay at for free. And it is a drug and alcohol treatment program. It's just in southeast of Dallas, and if you walk back to the line to get something, you deserve that treat because it is in the country and it is far. It's a good 30-minute walk to the nearest store, if that store even sells beer or alcohol. But so if you need some assistance today, we have that resource available. But for November, I'll invite some substance abuse providers to come to the meeting and provide some information for you guys on, where you can get treatment at. We partner also with Turtle Creek and Homeward Bound as well. So I'll invite those also, as well as South Harbor. But I know South Harbor definitely works with the homeless population, and they have some beds set aside for homeless. And unlike traditional substance abuse providers where it's a 28-day program or a 90-day program, you can stay at South Harbor indefinitely as long as you're working in their, with their program. And by that I mean, they have a thrift store, and then they also use the residents there to provide meals. So as long as you are there working for Stokes Harbor, you can stay there indefinitely. So we'll get those people invited for next month. All right, so I passed around, any other questions? I passed around a survey, and it's very wordy. It's only 30 questions, and I wanted to get all 30 questions on here. If you notice when you're filling it out, I don't ask about your name or date of birth or any identifying information. That's just because I want you to be as truthful as possible and not feel like when I get back to the office, I'm gonna know that you filled it out.
So you don't want to name on?
If you put your name on it, that's fine, but it is not a requirement. I do not need your name. So these are just some questions based upon homeless status, violence or criminal activity, health care, social engagement, and any other things that I may have missed. So the first questions are, where did you sleep last night? Where did you sleep most nights? When you get to the questions that have usually, sometimes, rarely, never, just circle what applies. There's also some answer choices such as yes and no. Just circle whichever applies also. And I'll give you guys a little bit of time to read over this. If you need help filling it out, I don't mind helping. But I'll give you just a little bit of time for that. And don't forget, once you fill it out, I will have something for you.
Those answers don't fit the question.
Which question are you referring to?
How do you change clothes you're wearing? You do?
Do you usually change? Do you change sometimes? You never change? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Easy now.
Oh, easy. What did you ask me? The first one? Did you know which?
For a little while, they're going to change the, eventually go plus. Eventually, I don't know exactly when, but
It doesn't matter, you can help fill it out.
Housing program. It's the iron and burgers.
Everybody's good.
Cut everything down this area. With HUD requirements and that's it. Caseworker, 240. Not hiring any caseworker, but then I got because they had any work now, without having a review. It's not what's going on vacation. Come to my house, and mom was in, I go to mom and they'll come in with my
Did you
house.
heard the Jericho project moving on? When the politicians know there's no more, I think it'll happen. Really like a small percentage of people that are in programs to go ahead and do long and vacate their apartments with somebody who wants to meet to get their apartment to do whatever, good job, and make a good apartment. And you're gonna do a little nice and make it, so then you move on, and then somebody else is gonna. There's only a certain, a very small percentage of people that think it goes fine.
Thank you.
And cleared out the fourth floor for, that's not land. A couple of the land itself, the one for shooting up.
She worked as a professional worker. If they don't, and work around, they can have the They're coming up with a thing in order and it's online. I think that, well, they have it ready to try to get, they'll get, well, you can deliver it. Probably, and they come up with it. But there are a lot of that. I'm a whole lot of that. The city gas is $28. There was an article in the Observer, Jeff Hutchins did an article about pretty critical in the city gas. So it doesn't have to be that money. I think if there's any out of the board, everybody else, I don't have a lot of that. And so it says, they called it, oh, I forgot the word that he used. Boy, he put something well, actually, the Democrats, I should say,
I had to agree with him because I don't understand it. I told him when I called.
Mayor, City Council, all of us.
It's unusual.
It's all about money.
It works unusual.
I was a little about Daddy's favorite thing.
How we doing? Is everybody just stop it?
Mine is all there. I've always got cards and mine up there.
You got them all back? No, you want to turn one in?
No, I took that, mine, you know.
You still working? Okay.
That's bad. That's good. Oh, you take the back up there? Yeah. It's good to have, right? What they were talking about exactly. Yeah, that's important. We'll pass around.
So we will, transition to what's called the no part section, which is an agenda. The no part section gives you the opportunity to speak for 3 minutes. Last month we realized 3 minutes is a long time. You'll have the opportunity to speak for 3 minutes about a topic of your choice as it pertains to homelessness. Write your question down here for me because I like to come back and read them later, or if there's if there's a situation a question that I can't answer today, I can have this note card to remind me of what it is. You good?
That's all about what I do.
Okay. Anybody else need a note card? So this gives you the opportunity to have the floor, just like they do at city council meetings, for a maximum of 3 minutes to talk about a barrier that you may have to homelessness or a challenge that you're facing, anything of that nature. So, or anything that you want to discuss, 3 minutes.
I'm like saying, oh, we'll get to 3 minutes.
Last month I had to actually set the timer. I think it'll be okay this month. While you're doing that, last month, we took the meeting on the road and we went over to our calling and we met there it was supposed to be 9:30 to 11, but it ended up being 10 until 11, because of some programming things that they do there first thing in the morning. So I wanted to, for those who attended last month, what did you guys think about the meeting? Just any kind of feedback? I know that it was not the group that's here today, or those of you who come to, it was a different group of people basically. So is there any feedback that y'all would like to discuss from those of us who attended last month, discuss at this meeting?
I was just saying, that over here, the people who watch, they know about it. That time, we went to them, and the people that want to come, it's always from me.
Correct. Yes.
I know our calls from the day, I feel like, a lot of them that were there, they go out to be in their age regularly. I feel like, maybe you got coordinated with our staff, that way they have questions, it can moderate a little bit, because, they can start bringing stuff in, saying, like, when they can't solve the problem.
Right.
So, yeah, I feel like it should be really more coordinated.
The reason why we took the meeting on the road or over to our college was because here at the library, the help desk team currently has a meeting very similar to this on the second and third Thursdays. And so you guys that come to the library are already receiving a lot of the information at those meetings. And so we wanted to make sure that the information we have here is not just limited to our friends at the library, but that we're sharing it with all of the homeless population. And so our calling asked us if we wanted to do the meeting on a monthly basis, and myself, Ricky, and Mr. Holman agreed. Mr. Holman is the other chairman of this body. We agreed that we didn't want to permanently move our meeting over there, but that we would take the meeting to our calling once to try it out and see how it worked, and we did last month. And now we are just discussing moving forward how often we want to meet over there, or if we want to continue to meet over there. I suggested that we maybe meet there quarterly, because we don't want to lose the partnership here at the library, but we also want to reach our neighbors at our colony. But with meeting there quarterly, there are concerns surrounding if people would be concerned about where the meeting is this month, and that we may lose some neighbors from attending due to a lack of consistency. Yes.
And I also agree that our calling, a lot of people don't know how to get there. This is kind of centrally located. A lot of people don't have transportation.
Okay.
That's a question. How far is the current calling location from the library?
It's not too.
Let's see the wall.
A 10-minute walk, about 2 miles.
Oh, okay.
Nah, it's about a 10-minute walk from it, so I don't think it's.
You know, maybe 2 miles, but it's maybe a mile.
No, but one reason I wanted to bring that up is it's raining. When I saw the blue side, there was it was 40% chance of rain starting to 12 o'clock noon, and it was January this morning, and it's raining now, so walking in the rain, and it's very smooth. It's hard to be touched with vision now.
This is definitely within Ricky's circuit that he designed a few years ago. The library, the stew pot, the bridge. This coming to the library is definitely within that circuit. certain of places that you can receive services at, so, but our college does have a lot of programs and services that are offered there, you know, at their places and their resource center, so it's definitely something that we want to talk about and make sure that we're getting, valuable information for our decision making. You have any thoughts, Justin?
What is the benefit to moving into our college support?
We need to serve a different demographic. Those are clients who are at our college, come over here, up to the library, so. Yeah. And, they're having something similar here twice a month, so we're kind of like educating services.
You know, we wanted to kind of reach out and get our message out. The system is not perfect, we know that, but it does work for some people that work hard to try to access the benefits that are available. There are people getting housed. We got a couple of people here, Chuck and Arthur, and so, and myself. I was homeless for 10 years, between 2003 and 2013. And I got started by coming to these meetings and trying to get connected with different agencies and whatnot. And so it is frustrating. We know that, but the only reason why we reached out to our college was to try to inform more people. I chose the K2 thing because of the people that died over there at the Stupak. There was a guy that died. He was smoking K2.
About 7 weeks ago, someone died on a Monday at like 2:30 in the afternoon. A gentleman passed, K2, and the grass out too high. Now what?
There's a little more around in how it's at, like, because now the side of like more they follow them, each other, so, yeah.
I encourage them not to partake in drug activity, just because, yeah. K2, the ingredients that make up K2 are illegal. We normally have a police officer that comes and talks to us about it once a year, but he retired. So, so any other thoughts about going to our calling quarterly or twice a year or anything?
I just sort of mentioned, the different things, different people, different ways, because some people are willing to stop.
That's true.
And I'll give you an example. They start putting salt on the tables in the dining room with the British people understand, because they found that there's most people that are studying where aren't supposed to use salt, but they'll use it in some table, because they can't control themselves. They'll use it anyway, and they're not. So they're going to put salt on the table and more.
Do any of you guys have no cards or things that questions you want to ask or?
Do you guys have,
My agency? It's, I have some cards. But it's mdha.dallas.org. mdha.dallas.org.
you guys talk like what we're discussing, we go to, where we have to be here, do you guys talk like talking points on like summarizing what we discussed on the website? But that's about that. A lot of our information, how we, I guess, move around and just like homeless people, we know a lot of it, get around just by working out.
Okay.
That's how we do it. And we are not, a lot of that information is coming from there, we know that, a lot of them have cell phones. And so a lot of these guys come in, they'll check their email and you know, it's really good, I guess. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, we did, kind of like a central link and emails there to where we can kind of talk about that one and you know, you disseminate that information out to people all like that, but sign up and then they say, well, and then it's just
So we have, I'm making a note of what you're saying. We have a Facebook page. So what I'll do, I know, he normally sends me the video I'll see if our director of communications can put some talking points on when he puts the link on the Facebook page, put those talking points from the meeting as well.
The communication is something that we need to do a better job of, not just with homeless people, but within the agencies themselves. And so a while back, we did a survey on all the agencies. And so I don't know if you know about what's going on with MDHA, but we're in a transition period because our CEO resigned about 6 months ago. And so we're in the process of hiring a new CEO. But communications is one of the biggest things that we need to improve on. And so not only, like I said, not only communications with homeless people, but within the agencies themselves and MDHA communicating with the agencies. And so there's been a problem there. And so we understand that. First thing you do, to correct the problem is figure out what the problem is. So we know that there's a problem, and we're going to try to get that corrected. And so like Cool Hand Luke said, failure to communicate. I don't know if y'all ever see that movie. Good point. And we do have a flyer that we put out. I don't know, did you put a flyer out?
I asked our director of communications to do it, but I never did follow up.
So, and supposedly the agencies like UGM and the STUPOD, or they're supposed to like post it, out. And so
They never posted.
And another thing too about this meeting is usually we have a spotlight agency. We didn't have one this month, and it turned out to be me.
Well, you told me you were going to do this.
So anyway, but we have one of our agencies that provide housing and those kinds of things, and they kind of tell about what they do and what the requirements are to qualify for the program. And so that's one of the things that we do at this meeting. So,
And nothing qualified, and nothing, you like to make it, so everybody, what everybody's trying to do is help everybody get up
Well,
off the street and stop.
Financially, yes.
Everybody falls-
You still have to have, things like ID, birth certificate, stuff like that. And depending on the program that you're going to, that determines what you need. So if you were going to, let's say, a permanent supportive housing program, then, money, no, but you need to have been homeless for a certain amount of time and have a disability. So that's what he means by that. If you were going to rapid rehousing, you would, need to have income, or you don't need any income to get into the program, but have the ability to work or plan to get Social Security, so that at the end of that rapid rehousing period, you would be able to pay the rent yourself. So nothing as far as income, but there are a couple of other program requirements.
You notice that, most of the homeless people, they're in like collective groups. You have the young ones that are like, can't seem to figure it out, and then you have the ones that are really old, they're walking with tons of bags, and then you have vets, and there's certain classes of homeless people, and you have ones that are like seriously addicted. And since we try to have all these organizations, because some of them don't want to do anything. And as much as you can tell them, they don't want to do anything. And those are the ones, if you separate those, you'll see the ones who actually trying. Because they're classifying everybody homeless as one big collective group.
We're not doing that.
And it's not like, it's not, some of us, to me, homeless is just a situation. It's not a way of life. It's just a situation that, you just put in to wake you up, or some of the decisions that you made were wrong. And with no good support system, family members, then all you're gonna look at is the bad part. Now, the people make up the city, and I look around a lot, and the city never offers, you have for programs, but everybody's like wrong, 30, 40 years old, 20, 30, 40 years old, and most of them need just a door. A lot of people are thinking of themselves, for themselves, they just need a door. But it ends up having to go through one door, get to another door, get to another, and then you get depressed and like, man, this ain't working. Because, it's not a quick fix, but some of us need a fix that we can just, thank you, and I'll go from there. But
that's exactly what HUD came out with a few years ago, that they found out that a housing first program, that whatever barriers you have, let's go ahead and get you housed. And then we'll worry about the other thing. And it's so much easier. For instance, if you're looking for a job, how are you going to look for a job if you're in a homeless shelter? That doesn't work very well. But if you get housed, now you're in a position where you're in a house, you've got a phone, you've got, transportation. Now you can go out and maybe go to some training. And so, but you got to do that first. So HUD has encouraged us to do that housing first approach. And if we don't do it that way, then they say we're going to cut the funding. That we're not going to allow you to have funding if you don't follow this program, Housing First. And so I'm one of the ones, on the allocations committee that actually look at the grants. And so if you're not Housing First, then you're not going to get funded, or at least not as much as what you want. So you're exactly right. It is complicated though. There's a lot of different agencies, and everybody falls in a bracket. Are you a veteran? Are you disabled? Do you have mental problems? Are you young and will just need a job? Don't have a job, but all you need is a job in a place to stay. So everybody falls within a bracket, and the agencies, they don't serve everybody. Each agency serves that particular demographic. The trick is figuring out which one that you belong in.
And by that period of time, you're trying to figure that out. You done been sleeping outside for a month, or you done went to jail for vagrancy, or somebody done ran off with your clothes, and then now all your outcomes, you have nowhere to turn to. But you have all these programs out here offering this, offering that, offering it, but you steady see if the programs were sufficient as they said it was, wouldn't be so many people out here to this day. If they would just remove, I wouldn't say remove, but all the ones that are just gone. Like the dude just urinating all over by 7-Eleven, just walking on the streets, he's classified.
Let me get a comment in here. So I can't discriminate against I can't separate who wants housing and who doesn't want housing. I'm just saying, I have to treat everybody accordingly as an agency. I have to treat it. So I can't say, oh, this person doesn't want housing because they're urinating on the building. I have to say, let me engage this person and see how we can get him into housing so that he can stop urinating in public. So I can't separate the two. However, underneath the homeless umbrella, like Ricky said, there are different what we call subpopulations of homelessness. From what I'm hearing from you, you want a hand up. Am I right? So
No, not exactly. I mean, not a hand up. Now the potential that I have, it just needs to be addressed, and then go from there. Maybe a door where I can help myself.
Right.
Where I won't feel like I
That's a
owe
hand
you my
up.
life.
That's a hand up.
Open up the door, and I stepped in because I'm qualified. Just the position got me looking where,
Yep.
you know,
That's a hand
it's
up. That's what we
blemish.
call a hand up.
You homeless? Yeah. I mean, I speak on the street, but I don't look like it.
Wasted time there.
So that's what we call a hand up. And we realize that there are people like yourself and this gentleman who are individuals, and Mr. Piano, who are individuals and just need to help getting somewhere. So we have a couple of different ways that we can help you. First, we recognize that, and so the bridge is going to be rolling out a rapid rehousing program coming up soon. And with rapid rehousing, this program gives you the opportunity to move into your own apartment that you found on your own. It takes your background, whatever the case may be, it's yours. And then the bridge provides you, or the rapid rehousing program provides you with the funds to get into the program, but it's up to you to maintain it. So we give you that hand up to get you in, help you out for a month or two, and then month 3 through the rest of the lease, it's on you. So we recognize that we have it currently for families. So we're getting ready to roll it out for individuals. At this point, it is taking a little bit of time to roll it out, but we see the need and we're working on it.
Any time projection?
I don't work for the bridge, so I can't say. But I would expect it to be ready at no later than the first of the year. But I don't work for them, so I can't speak for them. but I hope that it's ready before it gets real cold outside. So that's what the referee has heard of having. You said something else and I lost that thought. This gentleman here had a comment, I'm gonna come back to you. Okay. Sir.
I'm sorry.
Oh, ma'am,
I think the name of that page is called Family Gateway.
It is. If you're a family, go over there right now. Just go, don't call, go.
Thank you.
I guess, this is sort of like touching on what you were saying, not taking anything away from what you were saying, okay? This is a huge problem, and you're dealing with people, period. And so, for instance, when you guys rolled out the bus passes to the library a while back, as soon as they realized, as soon as we had that meeting at our colony 7 weeks ago, immediately, you had these lines coming to the library, people wanting passes.
Yep.
So, a week or two after that, because it was being abused.
Yep.
Again, not taking anything away from what you're saying, because this is just a mindset of what we're dealing with. But because it was being abused,
I had to come up with some rules.
yeah, rules were brought forward, and an addendum was made to those rules, which is that if you want a bus pass down, you gotta have a note from a caseworker saying this is why you need it, blah, blah, blah. And so, I'm at Alston Street. At Alston Street, like a lot of these places, like the bridge, like Dallas, like they have a ton of programs, a ton of them. At Alston Street, I would dare to say, and this is a low number, that half the guys that are staying there are receiving a check. That check on average about $750, which isn't much, but that's what they sell it for, until whenever. That $750, Alston Street has a program, and I'm saying this for a reason. They have a program to where they will get 2 or 3 of those guys together, put them in place, shared housing. For those guys, they don't want that. They want to be able to do what they want to do. They want to be able to live there, take advantage of the resources. As long as Alston Street is feeding them, giving them a shelter over their head, they have to with that. They don't care about getting out there and taking advantage of having, instead of being 400 people crammed into one area, now you just got 3. You may have a 1-bedroom or 2 or 3, but it's better than that. But they don't want that. So you got a ton of people out there like that need the help, but they're not willing to take that help because they want to do things their own way. But this is going to always be a problem. So, in order for you to get to where you're going and to do to do what you need to do, you need to be proactive and you need to be aggressive. She can't pull you by the bootstrap. I'm not going to do it. It's not my job. But so I'm having enough just dealing with myself. A lot of us can get out there and do our own thing, but we're human. We've been around for a long time. We want to do things a certain way, and so they understand that. We understand that. I understand that. So the help you need is out there. You just got to go out there, look for it. You got questions. Don't get discouraged and just take advantage of what's there.
Okay, I not only see, I know a few people that have been around here for years trying these programs out, and they still are here, walking around trying these programs out.
Ricky, how many programs did you try?
But let me just share a little bit of my own story for a minute. When I became homeless in 2003, my first thought was, well, I got no money, I can get a job. That's the solution to that problem. I couldn't find a job. I just simply couldn't. And I had a severe spine injury, so I couldn't go back to my old line of work, which was warehouse work and groundskeeping and those kind of things. I had just gotten to a point where I couldn't physically work no more. So I thought I would move my skills into the office, so I didn't have to work physically anymore. That didn't work. I tried, and I finally gave up and said, you know what, this is not working. So let me go for my Social Security, my disability. So I was able to get Social Security, but like you said, it's not much. It isn't much. So what I did was, and during all this time that I was homeless, another thing happened to me is I got used to being homeless. I got used to staying in the shelter and not having to do anything except taking orders from some jerk there at the shelter. Yes sir, no sir, let me, when you say jump, I'll jump. And stand in line and do all the things that I need to do, and I don't have to do anything else. I don't have a boss breathing down my, and I got used to it. But I didn't give up, and when I started getting my check, I finally figured out that I could stay in a group home. I could afford that. And so I stayed in group homes, no, total, for about 5 years. Now, the group homes, there was one that was really good, and then there was a couple that wasn't good. But, and so that transitioned me into, I finally found a place. It's not much, it's just a little room. My little place I have, it's not much, but it's mine, and I have a little kitchen, a little bathroom, and a little room. So it took a while, and I've tried a lot of programs, a lot of different things, but at least for the time being, I've had my own place now almost 40 years.
Mr. Piano, how many programs did you try?
One,
One.
your program, you helped me get into
Okay.
Housing First, and the City Square, and I was homeless 4 years, on the street, sleeping on the bridge, Kent City. And they rescued, and then it was housing. So, here I am.
I have Mr.
And in my
Piano in
situation-
2 programs though. You're in Destination Home now, right? Did I put you in HCC first?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had
Okay, so
them
it's
in.
two, but same
Yep,
outfit, just transition from one to the other.
Yep.
Two different places. They give me a housing, I'm on my fees, I'm making one artist, I'm selling, I'm getting a small reputation, good reputation. And so, it's coming around, you know, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm taking more responsibility on my back, off transportation, bus taxes, food, and food stamps and stuff, you know, take care of myself, doing the way I want to, you know, for my thing. So at least the program lets us do that. We don't have to do alcohol drug testing or counseling unless we want, which is good. I mean, it's available through our program at our site. So I haven't failed myself with that, but it's there. I feel like I need it. And my confidence level just shot up, you know, all over the place because of
and Mr. Piano didn't want housing when I first met him.
living in a tent, you know, doing my own thing, but
He was content with where, he was comfortable with where he was. The only time he was bothered was when it was raining and cold. And so he kept coming to the meetings, so I kept engaging with him, kept encouraging him, kept working with him. And how long has it been now? 2 years?
it's been 2 years since I've been housing.
Okay.
The program's in, it's been like 9 and 10.
Yep. And then Art here, we're still working with Art.
I'm special. But I'm trying to work with you guys.
He is special.
No, I think because I'm working with you guys, I just, it's really good.
Yeah, he's right. And so he's been housed now, it'll be a year in December, right at Christmas time. We housed him last year. One thing that Ricky always says is keep coming to these meetings. Be consistent in your attendance with these meetings, because here, I will help you get housing. I'll do what I can. As long as you're wanting to work for yourself, I'm willing to work for you. Erin told me a story when she first got here this morning that she was over at a property and she saw 2 people who would come to these meetings had housing at their apartment. So continue to come here. We do a lot of good in these meetings. This meeting is the second Friday monthly here at the library. November and December will definitely be here. January will be here also. Second Friday here. February may be at our calling, but we'll know in enough time in May to get the word out to you guys. But again, I encourage you to keep coming to this particular meeting. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got a couple questions, I just wanna know, I remember last week you said that when I keep out to the vouchers next year. My first question is what's the next step as far as how it goes? Because, I saw a story that, Fox, put out about how Sixth grade is having some success with their cottages, and, I saw that they opened up a new shelter yesterday in North Dallas somewhere.
A new housing program.
Yeah, but, I mean, those solutions kind of validate what our concern, that provide for themselves, which like, when I first got out on the streets, it's been 3 years now, I noticed that, you know, all these programs, if you're trying hard and you just don't know like where to go, or, you know, or maybe the program might not be specifically for you.
Right.
Like, what do you do next? Because, me
Okay.
personally, like, my situation is different than the average homeless. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, so, but at the end of the day, that instability is the reason why I can't be as effective. And, people who may not be in the same situation as me, but the lack of, engagement with everybody else who are able-bodied, well, you know, like, there's no way to, get off the streets.
Okay. So a couple of things that I heard, you asked what was the next steps, and then you talked about the program that, it started a few months ago, but they are, publicizing it now. The program yesterday, that's the St. Jude program, it's 104 units, in North Dallas, Forest and Webb Chapel, for those who are 55 and older, chronically homeless. It's called the St. Jude program. Okay, where do you go from here? Let me say this, the program that you are referred to or that you go to and apply to may not be the program for you. That doesn't mean you give up. That means program A didn't work for me, so I'm gonna try program B. We've had a lot of people who didn't make it, or not a lot, but we have had some people who didn't make it in the program that Mr. Piano is in, and so they ended up back in the shelter. We continue to work with those people. We didn't just stop working with them just because they were housed and they came back to the shelter. So we found another program for them. Maybe City Square's Destination Home program is not the right program for you, but maybe Metro Care's program is. And so we continue to work with you to find a program that fits. So if the first program doesn't work, get back in the game and go to the next program. And you just keep trying out different programs until you find one that's right for you. And the one that's right for you may be a situation like Ricky, where you need your own place that's affordable and, you know, your own, where you're able to maintain. That may be what works best for you. A group home may be what works best. But you don't know until you try it, so you want to just continue to try programs until you find the one that works. I would, for, again, individuals, we're getting ready to roll out the rapid rehousing program that help those of you, because you did mention mentally ill, that will assist those who not fit in that mentally ill umbrella or that chronically homeless umbrella. We will be rolling out some programs for individuals for that. We currently have it for families, and it's turning out to be successful. So we hear you, and we're working on that one.
My second question was, what was it like? What was the update for like the fourth track program and also like what was the first track? So like what's the name of that?
They're revamping the two tracks that didn't pass. Now let me put this disclaimer out there. I don't work for the city. I don't want it to seem like I'm speaking on behalf of the city, because I may be saying something that's totally oblivious, but, so the last I heard officially was that they were still under negotiations with Dallas Life, writing the contract to the Dallas Life track is where they're going to pay Dallas Life $12 a night for, you know, to house 50 people there. So they're still under contract negotiations for Dallas Life and hopefully for the bridge to get that worked out. The other two tracks are being revised to a more appropriate solution.
Is there a program that's able to intercede before the crisis, like before the chaos, like before you get evicted or before you can't pay bills, and you know, all before everything collapses on you? Is there something that can intercede before it all collapses? And if so, why does, I mean, it's like we find out after everything collapses about these things. So through life, these things are not actually handed to you. You know, they wait until you hit rock bottom, and then how it goes. Before you hit rock bottom, there's always like, you know, the 411 number to call and to pay your light bill, and is there like a program that you offer? I mean, because me, I'm from after 3 kids, I had to send my kids away because I'm not making enough money per hour financially to support 3 children. 725 is not.
So we have, it's called prevention. When we call 211, we ask for specifically for prevention programs. Now, with prevention, the funding does run out quickly because we have a lot of people who we are trying to prevent homelessness for. But it is prevention. The Salvation Army, more specifically, has a program called Home Sweet Home, and that's what it does. It provides you with assistance for up to 3 months to help you prevent your homelessness or prevent your interim homelessness. Yeah, so we have something of that nature. Again, it's dependent upon money. We try to balance it out so that it lasts all year long. But, you know, if this is a month where quite a few people are being evicted, you know, we're trying to help out as much as we can.
Does every system depend on the church?
No.
Most 9 times out of 10 there's a church in the background somewhere, you know, somehow that has
Yep.
the financial backing and the people behind it.
So
Internal
churches,
organization, because after you look past the organization, you see the crap, you see the preacher right there, or somebody ahead of a big, huge church, you know, and it's, does you always have to go through those avenues, if you're just an organization where it's, I see what you're trying to do, man, you know, and not give you funds, but sit you in a pathway to where you be successful, you know, without having to turn back and depend on the same people.
you said not give you funds.
No, I mean, because most times, you know, you financially okay, you know, but making it easy, you know, and not saying that funds be the whole outcome of everything, it may be support, you know, to keep you going.
So the supportive services.
Some type of support, I would like, say you have a family members, and family members are great support.
Right.
It ain't just money, it's, you know, something help you with the words of wisdom and, you know, keep you on that pathway, and not just financially. If financial days may need finances, but you really ain't destined to just need this and that.
So here's a great tool that you guys can research and look up. It's, if you will Google when you're on the computer, the 2018 Emergency Services Guide for Dallas. 2018 Emergency Services Guide for Dallas. It's a booklet that comes out every 2 years by North Dallas Shared Ministries, and it provides some of the resources that you're looking for as far as supportive services and wraparound services. I know I looked at the guide last night. So in the guide, it does list emergency shelters and it lists a few places that provide financial assistance, but it is very rapid wraparound services heavy. So that sounds like something that you may need to look into.
No, I just, not
No,
all,
yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Do you have one?
Not all programs are faith-based, but a lot of them are. The bridge is not faith-based. One of the things about the bridge is their case managers, in my opinion, are the best in the business. Now, I can tell you, I can sit here and tell you from my own experience about where to go and what to do and whatnot, but I'm just a volunteer worker. The people at the bridge, they know, those case managers, they know which direction you should go. And it is difficult to figure out just exactly which program is a fit. And so, you know, my best advice is to go get advice from somebody who can give you some good advice, because I don't have all the answers.
Most of our case managers here in our continuum are great case managers, but I will say this, a lot of them have very large caseloads, and so sometimes they're not able to give you that individualized attention that you may need at that particular appointment or specific appointment, but that's when you remain consistent and you continue to go, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly, whatever your scheduled appointment date and time is, because a lot of them are overworked, because right now we have more homeless people than we have in clients, or case managers. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're working with your case manager, you know, have a little leniency, you know, just know that he or she is probably working with 69 other people in a similar situation.
It's not up to your ability to discriminate against nobody, race, people, or whatever. But, doesn't, like, your organization going, like, not saying that this person cannot be helped, but like, this person right here, you know, not to be thrown away, but like, needs help.
People thought we couldn't help hard. People thought we couldn't help us with piano. But nobody wanted to work with him. He, like you said, he's special. He's a two-way street type of person. But what he just gave up on and said, no one's got to work with him. Mrs. Piano had been asked for assistance. People had approached him previously. I had a guy last year that for 3 years, multiple agencies have been trying to engage him and get him to move into housing. And the day I went was the day he decided he was ready. So everybody was like, what did you do? I didn't do anything. Nothing that I would have done with you or you. You know, are you ready today? And he was like, I think I am. And so, you know, we need to work with those who, you know, we may think this person, they don't have it. But we never know when it's going to be their day. It took us like a month to get him to move. And this is after constantly engaging with him weekly. Andrew was talking to him several times a week. And when I started the move process, we moved over 3 days because he wasn't, you know, sure yet. And then Andrew came another 3 days. And, you know, he was like, okay, but this is the day, you know. So we don't want to discredit anybody and say, we're going to throw you away, or we're not going to help you, or we're not going to work with you.
We all have to kind of at least have a little bit of him and him up in us, like a little bit of assumption or, you know, the fight that they had, you know, to at least qualify. So it's like, you know what I mean, like, you had to work with him for a few because he stuck.
See, I may not have to work with you that long. I might be talking to you, you say I'm ready for housing right now, and you walk out of here and go get you an apartment. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have the same level of need as them. You have whatever your need is, and you always, you know, whatever you say to that operating is Shabbat, and we don't hammer it out and see it. And I think I speak on behalf of the case managers in our continuum when I say that. Justin, am I good? Am I telling the truth?
You are.
You know, we work with even the ones that don't want to have it, we still work with them, we still encourage, you know, because that may be your day. You know, you may have had a bad day yesterday, like the lady on the elevator that just cussed me out. But she'll see me Monday and be like, oh my God, I love you, you know. This is, people have their days.
All 5 of these were under the bridge of thing, and guys are gone.
And it does take a while. Don't think that it's gonna happen tomorrow or Monday, if there is a process. And just keep the faith and be consistent.
It take a while. That's why I love it. We too long.
Don't give up on us. The problem we're having now is we don't have enough properties. We don't have enough apartments that want to work with us. That's where we are now. We have some little money, got our coins together, but we're having a hard time finding suitable properties, because I went to go look at a property last Friday and I told the property, no, I'm not even gonna look at this, because I would not put a homeless person here because it wasn't safe, and it was too much criminal activity, and I said, no. So.
Have you heard about this place over in, like I said, if you take the green line, you know, you're leaving downtown Dallas. Last stop is St. Paul. After St. Paul, then the next stop is Deep Valley. They got a place over there called shared housing. Have you ever heard of that program? What's that? You know anything about it?
Yeah, shared housing, they have 2 different programs, 2 types of programs. They have emergency shelter they mostly work with families and children. So they have emergency shelter for the families. And then they also work with singles who are homeless, and senior adults who need someone to care for them. So for instance, if you are a homeless man, and you're able-bodied, and you're homeless, and then there's an elderly person who already owns their home and need someone to help them with their home, or just someone to look after them to make sure, they're good on a daily basis, they'll pair you two together, and then you would pay, that person now becomes your landlord, so you pay them a little bit of money to rent the room for them. So it's shared housing.
And that's, just to piggyback on what she said, I went there several months ago. My situation is a little different. They won't give me housing because when I get now, I was 18, that's a long time ago. I sort of like beat up a couple people. Person only because I was in high school, and so the state of Florida, gave me this record. So because of that, me getting housing is just not gonna work. So I went to shared housing. We sat down and we talked, and they told me, what we can do. And they're probably the only people that can help me out, which is great. So, but one of the criteria is that I gotta have a full-time job. So if you go to shared housing, you gotta have a full-time job. It can't be a temp job, it can't be a permanent job. You gotta get a full-time job. And what they would do is put you in a place, and you will take at least 400 plus utilities or 500 plus utilities. So they would put you in a place with one other person. And, my advice is, it gotta be better than living in the shelter. And it'd be easier for you to manage, to your feet, because now you got, you're sharing, you may be sharing a bath with one person else, the other sharing a bath with several other people. And you're in your own place.
Have you talked to Austin Street about the shared housing program that they have at Austin Street? It wasn't for you?
No, it wasn't.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That was a program that's not for him. He realized that, and he's good.
Yeah.
And that's okay, just because we offer a program, it doesn't mean that you have to accept it.
Okay, I don't qualify for Austin Street, but I can still qualify for the shared housing program.
If you're homeless, yeah, we can still work with the program. The program is called Stronger Beginnings, and it's managed by a lady named April. So if you're homeless and you have income, and again, you just need a little hand up. April does a room share program where you have your own room, you'll share the common areas. So she put you and someone else in a 2-bedroom, and y'all split the rent.
Stronger Beginnings.
Stronger Beginnings with April Rickman.
Through the adversity that I've been having, which was more or less stability, like I had to separate my family. So my children will be going 3 states away, stay with my relatives, and their mom will be out here. Now, is there a program for like reunification program? Say that you want to all be back. She's going to do the same thing that I am. And her pride's a little bit more, I don't know, she won't ask me about anything, but to like reunify, like say if I'm gonna be out there with the children, she's gonna be here in Dallas. Is there a program for women with children, like, besides Family Gateway or Life or Salvation Army? Because there's a process with them that takes years.
It's not taking years.
Not years, but
I got some people moving in today with Family Gateway.
Oh, that's excellent. That's good to hear.
It ain't taking years, but it is a process.
That way, it's kind of like if you're a dad and you want your family to be back with you, but you can't because like finances now, dad's homeless and the mom's with her family. Is there a program that have like that you can get an apartment based on your family circumstances? That way, when you do
come back together.
And then, yes, and everybody can come back home again instead of the mom being in a shelter, which more or less domestic violence with the kids. And then you're out here in the shelter going from pillar to post trying to keep a job.
So, most of the time, unless it's a CPS situation, we base family size off of what's with you when you present at the door. And now if it is a situation where CPS has the kids and CPS is saying the only way you can get them back is if you have a stable place to live, then we will take that into consideration. Okay. But most of the time, we go off of what you have when you come into the door. Now, you did ask about another program that we do have, which is family reunification. So if, for instance, you are here in Dallas homeless, but you have family elsewhere that you can go and stay with permanently to escape homelessness, we have a family reunification program that will send you to that family member to stay. But you can't come back to Dallas homeless. You have to come back to Dallas stable. But yes, we do have a family reunification program for that as well.
So are you saying that you guys would provide like
A bus ticket.
yeah.
And don't try to go on vacation. Because I asked, what you going for? Who you going to see? I might be a director now, but I was a case manager before.
So you can't go to Vegas is what you're saying?
No, not on my dime. Not on our dime, you certainly cannot. You can go on your own dime and you can have a good time and come back, but.
So I have a question. So the stronger beginnings, as you know, the shared housing development, you gotta have a permanent job. With your program, stronger beginnings, is it a permanent job, part-time job?
She doesn't, you do have to have an income.
Yeah.
She doesn't say whether it's temporary or, as long as you have an income and you can pay the rent, she will get you job.
Is that number April? Or is it on your website?
Give me your, I don't have her number with me because I don't have my laptop.
I'll give you my email.
Yeah. And then, or you can email me and I'll connect you with April.
I got you.
Basically, the situation is that we can get up out of here ourselves, but we have to find the use in this beehive of everything going on in our head in society, and we just have to find the worker bee.
Yeah.
It's gotta be like more or less people trying to get out of this situation to better themselves. And one guy told me, he said, how can I fly like an eagle when I'm around a bunch of turkeys? Because
you do have to be careful of the cracks in the barrel syndrome.
Because there are nowhere to go. They're around you everywhere you go. You have to actually have your things like this. You have to use the restroom with your things like this. You know, and I guess that's just how it makes you, I won't say stronger, because you know you try not to make these mistakes twice. And as long as we can find somebody, because everybody doesn't know about what you're talking about right now. It's a lot of them outside or on the computers now wondering what to do. Certain websites are wondering what to do. And this information is not presented to the mass.
Well, we come here and we offer it, and she announced it at 10:15. So it's up to the body to come in here.
Yeah.
Huh, what's that?
You made that choice whether or not you wanted to be a part of it.
A lady was here and she left. I can only, help those who present to me and, All right, but we gotta wrap up because I have to be out of here at 12. One thing I want to remind you guys to do is to make sure that if you're registered to vote, that you vote. Early voting is going to be here at the library from October 22nd.
You have to have a precinct or anything, can you just vote as long as you're
If you are registered in Dallas County, you can vote here at the library during early voting. On the day of the election, you have to vote at your assigned precinct. Okay? So make sure you have an ID.
What days are we voting?
October, it's on the bottom of the agenda. October 22nd, November 2nd.
When I redo my license, it was in Terrell.
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please leave comments below, or like, follow, or subscribe to us and get notices of all our videos. We love it, even when you call.